Aries bursts onto every scene with an energy that feels electric, as if adrenaline courses through their veins from the moment dawn breaks. Their presence is impossible to ignore because they carry the heat of originality and the spark of fearless ambition in every stride. From the first exchange, you sense that engaging with an Aries is not a casual decision, but a deliberate choice to join a whirlwind of passion, drive, and uncompromising truth. This opening segment invites you to witness how their pioneering spirit shapes not only their own destiny, but also the paths of everyone who crosses their trail. Aries does not hesitate or second-guess. They act decisively, fueled by an inner fire that propels them forward and challenges onlookers to match their pace or step aside. In these initial 2 minutes, we begin to explore why provoking an Aries demands more than a cool head and steady nerves. It requires genuine respect for their fierce authenticity and a readiness to stand by your convictions. Their radical honesty serves as an instant alert system, flagging any hint of disrespect, with a clarity that leaves no room for misinterpretation. When their alliances are threatened or their values are called into question, they spring into action, charging straight at obstacles with unwavering courage and rallying allies who admire their fearlessness. Yet their fire is not reckless. It is guided by an instinct to protect what matters most and to forge new frontiers wherever they venture. As you listen, pay close attention to the rhythm of their energy, the way their confidence radiates warmth that both attracts and warns, and the moment when that warmth shifts into resolute defense. In the moments ahead, we will unravel 18 compelling reasons why underestimating an Aries risks igniting a force of nature, swift, powerful, and impossible to contain. Prepare to be immersed in stories of burning confidence, blazing integrity, and relentless momentum that define the Ram unleashed. A journey of courage and consequence begins now, and by the end of this introduction, you will understand that testing the mettle of an Aries is a challenge few dare to face without consequence. Instant alert system. From the very first moment, Aries steps into a conversation. Their instincts hum like a finely tuned alarm, instantly registering any hint of disrespect or hidden insult. Imagine walking into a meeting and casually dismissing a colleague's suggestion with a half smile, or a clipped, "That's interesting." In that instant, Aries' senses flare. They detect the subtle drop in tone, the brief tightening around the mouth, and the flicker of dismissal in the eyes. Their mind zeroes in on these micro-signals, translating them into a vivid internal warning that something has breached the unspoken code of mutual respect. Rather than allowing the slight to pass unnoticed, where it could fester into resentment or gossip, Aries confronts the issue immediately. They pause the conversation, lean forward, and ask the probing question that brings the hidden slight into the light. "When you said that, it sounded like you weren't taking my input seriously. Can you tell me what you were thinking?" That moment, their honesty functions like a shockwave, clearing away ambiguity and preventing passive-aggressive undercurrents from undermining trust. This instant alert system operates on both emotional and practical levels. Emotionally, it communicates that Aries values authenticity above all and will not tolerate covert disrespect. Practically, it nips potential conflicts in the bud, saving time and energy for everyone involved rather than letting misunderstandings spiral unchecked. Colleagues come to appreciate Aries' knack for keeping communication laser-focused, trusting that any slight, no matter how small, will be addressed so that team cohesion remains strong. In personal relationships, this alertness translates to heartfelt check-ins. "I noticed you've been quiet lately. Did something I said bother you?" By voicing concerns before they grow, Aries demonstrates deep care and a proactive commitment to mutual understanding. Over time, friends and partners learn that Aries' immediate feedback is not criticism for its own sake, but a gesture of respect designed to preserve the integrity and warmth of every connection. Fearless initiative. When injustice or imbalance arises, Aries doesn't hesitate or weigh risks. They launch forward with instinctive speed, transforming concern into deliberate action. Picture a scenario where a teammate unfairly takes credit for another's work. While most might shrink back, hoping the issue resolves itself, Aries' internal alarm sounds and their fierce loyalty kicks in. Within seconds, they assess the situation, pinpoint the necessary intervention, and step up to the front lines. They might call for a brief team huddle, highlight the overlooked contribution by name, and propose a corrective framework. "Let's ensure Alex's role is properly documented in our report and give credit where it's due." All delivered with unwavering confidence. Their fearless initiative both protects the aggrieved party and signals to the entire group that unfair behavior will be met with immediate defense. This propensity to act without delay springs from an internal compass set to justice and loyalty. Rather than allowing injustices to persist, Aries trusts their gut and leaps into action, often surprising others with the swiftness of their response. Their leadership by example inspires teammates to follow suit, creating a culture of mutual advocacy where everyone feels empowered to address wrongs promptly. In personal settings, this might look like interrupting a social situation to defend a friend being mocked, or stepping in to mediate when a loved one's concerns are being ignored. By refusing to wait for permission, Aries catalyzes change, demonstrating that protecting values and people you care about is not only commendable, but necessary. Ultimately, their fearless initiative galvanizes collective responsibility, reminding all that when boundaries are threatened, there is no moment to waste. Burning confidence. Aries exudes a radiant self-assurance that both welcomes admiration and repels intimidation, forming an energetic barrier that shields against doubt and external pressure. From the way they hold their posture to the steady cadence of their voice, their burning confidence communicates a profound belief in their own worth and capabilities. When they enter a room, this confidence acts like thermal energy, warming allies with encouragement and warning challengers that any attempt to undermine them will be met with unflinching resolve. Colleagues respect this aura because it signals clarity of vision. Aries knows what they bring to the table and expects that value to be recognized. As a result, when performance reviews or negotiations arise, Aries negotiates terms with assured clarity, stating their achievements and expectations without apology or hesitation. This unwavering belief in themselves empowers Aries to tackle ambitious goals, inspire team members, and pioneer new initiatives that others might deem too risky. Their confidence is not arrogance, but grounded in a history of demonstrated successes and hard-earned lessons. When setbacks occur, they view challenges as opportunities rather than threats, maintaining composure and quickly devising alternative strategies. In relationships, their self-assured demeanor encourages open communication. When discussing needs or boundaries, they do so with calm conviction, ensuring partners grasp the importance of mutual respect. Through their burning confidence, Aries teaches those around them that a clear, positive self-image is essential, not only for personal fulfillment, but also for guiding and uplifting others. Combustive temper. Beneath their composed exterior lies a reservoir of passion that, when provoked, ignites into combustive temper, an explosive force of confrontation that resets boundaries with stunning intensity. Unlike a slow burn, Aries' anger flares suddenly when a core value or deep loyalty is challenged, driving them to confront transgressions with dramatic clarity. Picture a situation where a trusted friend spreads a damaging rumor. Initially, Aries may attempt to clarify the truth calmly. If the damage persists or the friend refuses to retract the statement, a fierce transformation occurs. Their tone hardens, their words sharpen, and they confront the friend directly. "I trusted you to have my back, but you chose to spread lies. That betrayal ends now." This outburst serves as a powerful boundary marker, signaling that certain lines cannot be crossed without invoking swift and definitive consequences. This combustive temper is not indiscriminate aggression, but a targeted response to protect integrity and loyalty. After the confrontation, the flames subside, and Aries transitions back to calm, leaving the offended party with a clear understanding of their misstep and the path to reconciliation. The intensity of their response ensures that offenders grasp the gravity of their actions and prevents repeat offenses. In the workplace, this might translate to a decisive stand against unethical practices, prompting immediate policy changes or accountability measures. In personal contexts, it might involve ending relationships that prove toxic. Through their combustive temper, Aries demonstrates that while loyalty and enthusiasm define their spirit, betrayal and injustice will ignite a firestorm that compels respect, accountability, and ultimately the restoration of honor. The resilient embers. Even after initial conflicts have flared and been addressed, Aries carries within them resilient embers, an enduring inner glow of determination that refuses to be doused by time or changing circumstances. When an offense occurs, Aries does not simply confront it, issue a reprimand, and move on as if nothing happened. Instead, the lessons learned ignite a lasting spark that informs every future interaction. Picture a time when a teammate consistently missed deadlines. Aries confronted the issue head-on and then watched carefully as patterns evolved. Even once apologies were offered and new agreements made, Aries retained a quiet vigilance, recalling the sting of unmet expectations and holding that memory like a glowing coal. They neither burn bridges nor harbor bitterness. Rather, those embers fuel their commitment to excellence and fairness. In practice, resilient embers manifest as a refined sense of caution and an implicit reminder that trust must be continually earned. Aries might offer a colleague multiple chances, but still observe their follow-through, subtly reinforcing why reliability matters. That inner spark gives Aries the clarity to distinguish between genuine change and temporary appeasement. When new collaborations begin, Aries carries the lessons of past transgressions into the present, using the residual heat of memory to guide their instincts and ensure that the same mistakes are not repeated. This persistent glow also drives personal growth. They recall moments of frustration or disappointment, not as burdens, but as fuel for self-improvement. By keeping these embers alive, Aries transforms adversity into a continuous source of motivation, ensuring that every challenge becomes an opportunity to recommit to integrity, strengthen resolve, and nurture relationships built on a deeper understanding of what truly matters. Flare-up feedback. Aries has mastered the art of flare-up feedback, an immediate candid exchange designed to clear the air and reaffirm boundaries before misunderstandings take root. Instead of allowing small frustrations to accumulate into resentment, they deliver their observations in the moment, with fiery honesty and unwavering clarity. Imagine a scenario in which a friend consistently interrupts during conversations. Rather than quietly endure or let irritation simmer, Aries pauses the exchange, looks their friend in the eye and says, "When you speak over me like that, it feels as though my thoughts don't matter. Let's give each other space to finish our sentences." This direct intervention is delivered without hostility, but with undeniable firmness, transforming a habit that might have become habitual blindness into a moment of shared awareness and mutual respect. Flare-up feedback is not about reprimanding for the sake of power. It is about preserving the health of relationships. By addressing issues as they arise, Aries prevents small slights from escalating into major conflicts. Their timing is impeccable. They choose a moment when emotions are still fresh enough to convey importance, but before frustration has hardened into stony silence. The feedback itself blends empathy with assertiveness. Aries listens to the other person's perspective, acknowledges any misunderstandings, and reaffirms a commitment to respectful interaction. This process often feels intense for all involved, but it clears away hidden tensions and allows relationships to reset on a foundation of transparency. Over time, friends and colleagues come to appreciate Aries' willingness to speak up early, recognizing that flare-up feedback is less about conflict and more about nurturing connections through honest, fearless communication. Sword point. Honesty. Aries approaches conversations with the precision of a master swordsman, wielding truth as their weapon of choice. From the very first hint of diplomatic euphemisms or carefully crafted half-truths, they straighten their posture, lock eyes, and deliver observations that cut directly through polite facades. When someone cloaks their real feelings in vague language, "I feel like things could improve," or "maybe we should consider adjustments," Aries responds with unflinching directness, transforming those soft ellipses into clear, unequivocal statements. They might say, "It seems you're holding back criticism. Please share what's really bothering you." Or, "Your suggestions feel like a way to avoid accountability. Let's get to the root of this." In doing so, they refuse to let obfuscation fester into resentment. This sword-point honesty stems not from cruelty but from an unwavering respect for authenticity and clarity. Aries understands that unspoken frustrations rot relationships from within, so they prefer to expose every hidden motive and unvoiced concern immediately. Their interventions may startle those accustomed to gentle approaches, but over time, colleagues and friends come to appreciate the liberating effect of this radical candor. By forcing issues into the open, Aries prevents misunderstandings from growing into entrenched grudges that sabotage teamwork or erode trust. In professional contexts, this direct feedback accelerates problem-solving. Instead of scheduling multiple follow-up meetings or crafting layered messages, Aries addresses performance gaps, miscommunications, or conflicting priorities in a single, decisive exchange. The blunt clarity they offer lays bare the path forward, clarifies expectations, and empowers everyone involved to move ahead with full awareness of the challenges and the solutions. Outside the workplace, sword-point honesty serves as a protective mechanism in personal relationships. When a friend's actions consistently fall short of promises, showing up late, forgetting important dates, or failing to follow through, Aries calls it out without delay, saying precisely how those behaviors affect the relationship and what needs to change. Their feedback feels like a shock of cold water at first, but it jolts people back into alignment with shared values. Over time, partners and friends learn that Aries' honesty is not an attack on character, but a corrective force that preserves mutual respect. By keeping communication raw and unfiltered, they ensure that connections remain vibrant and genuine rather than deteriorating beneath polite smiles and unspoken disappointments. In every interaction, sword-point honesty embodies Aries' belief that truth may sting in the moment, but ultimately heals by making clear what matters most and what must be addressed for relationships to thrive. Bold confrontation. For many carries an aura of fear or reluctance, but for Aries it is a natural act of bravery and respect. They refuse to allow grievances to simmer beneath a fragile veneer of civility. Instead, they approach conflicts with the calm assurance of someone who sees discomfort as the first step toward resolution. When a situation demands direct engagement, whether a colleague's repeated missed deadlines, a friend's dismissive behavior, or a partner's broken promise, Aries doesn't hesitate. They arrange a meeting or choose the right moment in person, ensuring they have full attention. Then, in a controlled but firm voice, they lay out the issue. When you missed the last 3 project milestones without explanation, it impacted the entire team's progress and morale. I need to understand what obstacles you're facing and agree on how to move forward. Their opening combines factual observation, emotional impact, and a clear call to action. This bold confrontation is delivered not as an accusation, but as an invitation to collaborate on a solution. Aries listens attentively to the other person's perspective, validating concerns when appropriate, and maintaining mutual respect even as they press for accountability. Their courage to face awkward conversations head-on encourages others to participate honestly, rather than retreat into defensiveness. The outcome is a productive dialogue that addresses root causes, rather than spinning around surface symptoms. In work environments, this approach prevents toxic dynamics from taking hold, as Aries brings hidden conflicts into the light before they metastasize. Team members learn that Mark's willingness to confront issues strengthens rather than weakens group cohesion, prompting faster adjustments and fostering a culture of openness. In personal relationships, bold confrontation becomes an act of love and loyalty. Aries values authenticity above all, and when patterns of neglect or miscommunication emerge, they tackle them directly. When you stop sharing your thoughts on our plans, I feel shut out. Let's discuss how we can keep communication flowing. Even when we're both busy, their tone balances empathy and firmness, making it clear they care deeply but will not ignore behaviors that undermine connection. This decisive engagement often yields surprising breakthroughs. Hidden resentments surface, misunderstandings are cleared away, and both parties emerge with renewed clarity about each other's needs and commitments. By embracing conflict as a necessary step toward improvement, Aries elevates bold confrontation into an art form. They model for everyone around them that true strength lies not in avoiding discomfort, but in harnessing it to forge more resilient bonds. Their fearless willingness to address problems at their inception prevents gradual erosion of trust and ensures relationships, both professional and personal, grow stronger through honest, courageous dialogue. 9. Champions rally. Aries' courage to stand up for what they believe in inevitably draws others into their orbit, sparking a collective surge of support that transforms individual protest into communal action. When they witness unfair treatment, whether a coworker overlooked for credit, a friend subjected to gossip, or a cause they care about dismissed, they raise their voice with palpable passion. Their words are more than persuasive rhetoric. They are a clarion call that resonates with anyone who shares their sense of justice and loyalty. Upon announcing their stance, Aries' sincerity and unwavering conviction compel colleagues, friends, and even casual observers to lend their voices and efforts. A single statement, "We need to acknowledge Sarah's contribution publicly, or the rest of the team will feel undervalued," can become the catalyst for a groundswell of recognition, applause, and corrective action that no lone voice could achieve. This champions rally builds momentum quickly. Allies who admired Aries' integrity before now feel energized to act, offering concrete support, scheduling a recognition ceremony, drafting a respectful petition, or publicly praising the overlooked individual in group settings. Aries' leadership style is not about commanding followers, but about showing the way. Their bravery in speaking up convinces others that the cause is worthy of their time and reputation. Adversaries soon realize they face more than a single challenger. They confront a network galvanized by shared values and guided by Aries' example. This collective solidarity exerts significant pressure to rectify injustices, elevating the original concern into a movement that spans departments, social circles, or community groups. Moreover, Aries' champions' rally doesn't dissolve when the immediate issue is resolved. They maintain engagement with the people they've rallied, fostering lasting alliances built on mutual respect and shared purpose. Together, they monitor progress, celebrate victories, and stand ready to address future injustices with the same unified spirit. Through this ongoing coalition, Aries reveals the power of one individual's courage to spark a broader force for good. Their actions prove that when brave hearts unite, they can reshape cultures, strengthen communities, and ensure that fairness and recognition become enduring norms rather than fleeting ideals. Trailblazer tactics. Aries refuses to rely on worn paths when forging solutions or delivering justice. Their trailblazer tactics involve imagining inventive strategies that catch adversaries and allies alike by surprise, opening fresh avenues for resolution that conventional methods never considered. When faced with wrongdoing, they refuse to replay familiar scripts of reprimand or standard corrective measures. Instead, they analyze the core issue, identify underlying needs, and conceive creative interventions, perhaps a collaborative workshop to rebuild trust, a public demonstration of accountability that rewrites the narrative in real time, or an unexpected alliance between stakeholders to engineer a powerful collective statement. These pioneering approaches stem from Aries' appetite for innovation and their conviction that courage coupled with creativity ignites real change. They might organize an impromptu brainstorming session that transforms conflict into co-creation, inviting each person to contribute ideas toward a shared vision of fairness. Or they could launch a targeted pilot project, whether at work or within a social circle, that models the behaviors they demand, illustrating instead of merely instructing. By reframing the problem as an opportunity for experimentation, Aries turns resistance into collaboration. Those involved, initially wary of bold new tactics, become energized by the novelty and engage more deeply with the process of repair. Trailblazer tactics also serve as a powerful deterrent. When potential offenders realize that Aries will not repeat tried-and-true punishments but instead engineer ingenious consequences, they think twice before crossing boundaries. The unpredictability of Aries' response, whether it's a symbolic gesture that shifts group norms or a strategic realignment of resources that honors the wronged, keeps everyone alert and accountable. In this way, Aries' innovative spirit elevates both resolution and prevention, ensuring that fairness emerges not only from direct confrontation, but also from imaginative transformation of relationships and systems. By leading the way into uncharted territory, they demonstrate that true leadership and justice require the bold willingness to chart new courses rather than retrace old steps. Rapid retaliation for Aries. Timeliness is integral to upholding integrity, and their rapid retaliation ensures that no slight goes unanswered or festers unseen. The moment they detect a transgression, whether a broken promise, a betrayal of trust, or an outright insult, they spring into action with electrifying speed. This response is neither impulsive aggression nor reckless revenge, but a calibrated intervention designed to halt the misconduct in its tracks and signal clearly that boundaries will be defended. A brief but decisive conversation might follow, in which Aries states, "That remark undermined my integrity. It stops now." Or they might orchestrate a visible, tangible corrective measure, such as reallocating responsibilities, publicly acknowledging the wronged party, or recalibrating team processes to prevent recurrence. Rapid retaliation is effective because it prevents harm from spreading. In workplace settings, early intervention by Aries forestalls morale decay and averts cascading errors that stem from unaddressed issues. Team members come to trust that any unfairness will be remedied promptly, fostering a culture of swift accountability rather than protracted disputes. In personal contexts, Aries' rapid response to hurtful behavior communicates deep care. They do not ignore pain or allow disrespect to linger. They intercede at the first sign of betrayal, offering the offender a clear pathway to make amends, instead of permitting the relationship to erode silently. This immediate action also serves as a powerful deterrent. Potential wrongdoers recognize that crossing Aries' lines triggers rapid pushback, discouraging them from testing limits. Allies, in turn, feels secure knowing that Aries' protective vigilance shields their collective interests. Through rapid retaliation, Aries establishes a dynamic of respect grounded in timely, decisive action, a living testament to their belief that integrity must be defended swiftly to preserve trust and goodwill. Undaunted endurance, even after the initial confrontation and corrective actions have taken place, Aries' dedication to justice remains unwavering, fueled by their undaunted endurance. They draw on deep wells of resilience and determination to ensure that issues are resolved fully rather than superficially. Where others might become fatigued or distracted once the heat of a conflict subsides, Aries continues to monitor progress, follow up on commitments, and provide support until the situation is righted and trust is genuinely restored. In professional environments, this means tracking the implementation of agreed-upon solutions, checking in with team members to confirm that new processes function smoothly, and addressing any lingering uncertainties with the same vigor they applied to the initial problem-solving phase. Aries' perseverance prevents regression into old habits, reinforcing the lessons learned, and embedding new standards of behavior into the group culture. Their steady oversight assures colleagues that promises of change are more than temporary concessions. They are lasting transformations supported by ongoing attention. In personal relationships, undaunted endurance looks like continued gestures of goodwill, patient reminders of commitments, and gentle reinforcement of new boundaries. If a partner has apologized and pledged to change, Aries keeps track of progress, offering encouragement for each positive step while addressing setbacks with frank compassion. This steadfast engagement demonstrates that respect is not a one-time grant, but a continuously nurtured exchange. Those on the receiving end learn that repairing trust is a journey, and Aries' refusal to relent until resolution is achieved fosters a profound sense of security and mutual accountability. Through their relentless perseverance, Aries proves that true courage extends beyond decisive action into the realm of sustained commitment. Their undaunted endurance transforms fleeting victories into enduring justice, guiding individuals and groups toward lasting harmony rather than fleeting appeasement. 13. Devoted protector. At the core of Aries' fierce loyalty lies their identity as a devoted protector, a role they embrace with unwavering passion. When someone within their circle faces harm, whether emotional, social, or physical, Aries naturally steps forward to shield and defend. Their protection is proactive. They anticipate potential threats, speak out against injustice before harm can occur, and marshal resources to fortify the well-being of those they cherish. This guardianship extends across contexts, from advocating for a bullied friend in social settings to championing a team member's ideas against dismissive critics, ensuring that toleration of wrongdoing never finds fertile ground. Aries' devoted protector instinct is equal parts heart and courage. They invest emotionally in those they defend, offering sincere empathy that strengthens bonds and conveys genuine understanding. Simultaneously, they wield their authority with resolute force, confronting antagonists and dismantling obstacles to safety with fearless determination. The mere knowledge that Aries stands guard brings comfort to allies, fostering an environment where risks are mitigated by the assurance of loyal support. This protective devotion is not conditional. Aries does not require constant reassurance or performative loyalty. Instead, their commitment is rooted in an intrinsic code of honor. Once they pledge to protect, they do so with absolute steadfastness, regardless of inconvenience or personal cost. Over time, those under Aries' watch learn to trust implicitly in their guardian's capacity to defend, repay that trust with reciprocal loyalty, and uphold the standards of safety and respect that Aries has fought to establish. In this way, devoted protector encapsulates the noblest aspect of Aries' courage, a self-sacrificial drive to safeguard the dignity and well-being of loved ones, reinforcing the profound truth that in the realm of the Ram, loyalty is as powerful as any weapon. Memory like steel, Aries carries past experiences with the steadfastness of tempered metal, forging every slight, betrayal, and disappointment into lessons that remain permanently etched in their inner ledger. When trust is broken or promises are reneged, Aries does not lightly forgive and forget. Instead, they catalog the incident with crystalline clarity, recalling not only the event itself, but the precise circumstances, emotions, and consequences that followed. This memory-like steel informs every subsequent interaction, serving as both a warning system and a guide for how they engage with the individuals involved. Imagine a colleague who once dismissed Aries' contribution in a team meeting, only to later seek their input in private. Despite apologies and gestures of goodwill, Aries' memory of that initial slight remains fresh, guiding them to watch for patterns of respect rather than accepting a single act of contrition at face value. Their awareness does not morph into petty grudge-carrying. Instead, it supports a balanced perspective, rewarding genuine change while guarding against repeated offenses. Colleagues and friends come to recognize that Aries' recollections are neither vindictive nor capricious, but rooted in a deep commitment to fairness and integrity. This steel-strong memory extends beyond interpersonal slights to encompass lessons learned from personal failures and setbacks. Aries recalls past mistakes with equal precision, using those insights to refine their approach to challenges and avoid repeating unproductive behaviors. Rather than dwelling in self-criticism, they transform regret into strategic advantage, drawing on the full force of their hard-won wisdom when navigating new endeavors. By maintaining this unbreakable record, Aries ensures that every relationship and project benefits from the cumulative knowledge of their experiences. They neither allow past hurts to freeze them in place, nor neglect to protect themselves from repeat harm. Memory, like steel, becomes both a shield and a compass, deflecting attempts to exploit their goodwill while guiding them toward collaborative alliances that honor trust, transparency, and mutual respect. In this way, Aries demonstrates that the power of remembrance, when tempered with insight and tempered with compassion, becomes a vital force for personal growth and collective accountability. Unyielding principles. At the core of every Aries beats a heart dedicated to certain immutable values, honesty, courage, and fairness, that they uphold with unwavering conviction. These unyielding principles serve as their moral compass, guiding decisions both trivial and profound. When confronted with situations that challenge their foundational beliefs, whether witnessing unethical behavior at work, encountering dishonesty, in friendships, or facing moral ambiguity in their personal lives, Aries refuses to compromise. They stand their ground, often at personal cost, rather than dilute the standards they hold sacred. Consider a scenario where a business partner proposes a shortcut that conflicts with Aries' commitment to integrity. Despite the promise of quick gains, Aries objects firmly, outlining why adherence to ethical practices not only preserves the team's reputation, but also fosters long-term success. Their plea is not a vague moralizing rant, but a clear articulation of principles anchored in practical outcomes. If we sidestep these regulations now, we risk our credibility, alienate stakeholders, and harm our future prospects. Their steadfast defense of ethical conduct often inspires others to resist expedient but unprincipled paths, reinforcing a culture of accountability. Outside the professional sphere, Aries' unyielding principles manifest in personal decisions with equal force. When friends or loved ones violate trust by gossiping, betraying confidences, or crossing established boundaries, Aries makes their stance clear. They might say, "I cannot be part of conversations that undermine someone's character," and step away until respect is restored. Their refusal to tolerate hypocrisy or deceit demonstrates that consistency between values and actions matters above all. This resolute adherence to principle also fuels Aries' leadership. By embodying unwavering integrity, they earn respect from colleagues and inspire loyalty from peers who appreciate clarity of purpose. Their behavior exemplifies the belief that true strength lies not in bending to convenience, but in holding firm to convictions, even when faced with pressure to conform. In doing so, Aries shows that a life guided by unyielding principles fosters trust, galvanizes collective commitment to shared ideals, and cultivates an environment where everyone feels secure in the knowledge that core values will never be compromised. Gaku. Solo warrior mode. When pushed to the brink by betrayal or injustice, Aries taps into an inner reservoir of independence and resilience, activating what they call solo warrior mode. In these moments, they embrace a solitary crusade to rectify wrongs, refusing assistance or sympathy until they have confronted the source of their pain or the breach of trust head-on. This mode is characterized by fierce self-reliance and laser-focused determination that propels them toward resolution without waiting for external validation or support. Picture a friendship fractured by a breach of confidence. While others might seek group mediation or hope for mutual reconciliation, Aries withdraws into solo warrior mode, crafting a direct approach to resolve the issue. They might spend hours reflecting on the precise hurt, drafting a letter that articulates their perspective, or arranging a one-on-one meeting to demand accountability. They do not shirk the emotional labor. Instead, they confront the problem singles-mindedly, willing to stand alone in pursuit of the truth and restoration of integrity. In professional settings, this warrior spirit manifests as a private campaign to address systemic issues. If workplace misconduct or unfair practices threaten their principles, Aries conducts independent research, gathers evidence, and builds a compelling case before presenting it to leadership. Their self-initiated investigation and unwavering resolve often force reluctant organizations to take corrective action, sparing others the burden of prolonged advocacy. Though this solo warrior mode may seem isolating, it ultimately benefits both Aries and those around them. By shouldering the initial burden of confrontation, they create space for collective renewal once the matter is addressed. Allies who stepped back during the solo charge re-engage with deeper respect for Aries' courage and clarity of purpose. In this way, solo warrior mode proves that the path to justice sometimes begins with a lone figure standing firm, unwavering in their commitment to right what is wrong, and blaze a trail for others to follow. 17. Victory Roar. When Aries achieves justice or restores harmony, they unleash a victory roar that resonates far beyond a personal triumph, serving as both a celebration of what was won and a warning to those who might challenge them again. This roar is never a hollow boast. It is the culmination of every effort, sacrifice, and courageous act that led to resolution. Imagine closing a contentious project where deadlines were missed and teamwork faltered. Once Aries' interventions, swordpoint honesty, bold confrontation, champions rally, trailblazer tactics, rapid retaliation, undaunted endurance, have coalesced to realign the group, Aries stands before teammates and delivers a heartfelt exclamation of shared victory. We faced challenges head-on, upheld our standards, and we did it together. Their voice carries the warmth of relief, the pride of collective accomplishment, and the clear message that complacency and disrespect have no place here. This victory roar serves multiple functions. First, it acknowledges the contributions of allies, reinforcing bonds by publicly celebrating each person's role in overcoming adversity. Colleagues feel seen and appreciated, fostering goodwill and motivating them to maintain high levels of collaboration and integrity going forward. Second, the roar cements new standards. By declaring the outcome with unwavering confidence, Aries ensures that the behaviors and values that led to success become the new baseline for future endeavors. Anyone who witnessed the turmoil and heard the ultimate roar intuitively understands what is expected and what will not be tolerated. Finally, the roar carries a cautionary echo. For those who tested boundaries, it signals that their transgressions were met with decisive force, and that any attempt to repeat them will once again face the full measure of Aries' unwavering resolve. In personal relationships, the victory roar might take the form of a sincere toast at a gathering, or a triumphant message that honors the mutual journey through conflict and back to solidarity. We navigated that storm together, and our trust is stronger because of. This vocal celebration transforms the pain of past breaches into a foundation for renewed closeness, teaching all involved that courage and loyalty are reciprocated with gratitude and respect. Through their victory roar, Aries closes the circle, marking the end of one chapter and the confident start of the next, leaving no doubt that their drive for fairness culminates not only in correction, but in collective empowerment and enduring unity. 18. Phoenix Rebirth. Even after the roar fades, Aries' commitment to transformation emerges in the Phoenix Rebirth, a powerful process of renewal that ensures every conflict yields a revitalized sense of purpose and possibility. Like the mythical bird rising from its ashes, Aries instigates a regeneration of relationships and systems that transcends mere repair. Following a period of upheaval, be it a heated dispute among coworkers or a personal clash with a close friend, they champion initiatives that rebuild trust on a deeper level. In a professional context, this might involve launching a team retreat focused on shared vision workshops, fostering open exchange of ideas, and co-creating new protocols designed to prevent future friction. By framing the aftermath as a collective rebirth, Aries turns past challenges into springboards for growth, infusing the group with fresh energy and renewed commitment to common goals. In personal spheres, Phoenix Rebirth takes on an even more intimate dimension. After addressing betrayals or misunderstandings, Aries organizes symbolic rituals, perhaps a heartfelt letter, a meaningful gift, or a shared experience that signifies a new beginning. They might say, "We've faced fire together, and now, it's time to build something brighter from the ashes." Then collaborate on a project or memory-making activity that cements their revived bond. This act of conscious renewal cements lessons learned and anchors positive change in the fabric of the relationship. Crucially, the Phoenix rebirth is not an automatic outcome but a deliberate choice by Aries to transform adversity into opportunity. It demands vision, initiative, and an understanding that healing requires more than an apology. It requires active co-creation of a better future. By leading this process, Aries leverages their natural pioneering spirit to chart new territory in relationships and organizations alike, demonstrating that true resilience lies in our capacity to emerge stronger, wiser, and more united after trials. Their example inspires all who witness it, teaching that every end contains the seed of a new beginning, and that courage and creativity can turn the remnants of conflict into foundations for enduring success. Through 18 formidable traits, we have traversed the landscape of Aries' power, from their blazing defenses and fearless tactics to their roar of victory and the phoenix-like renewal they inspire. Aries' instant alert system and fearless initiative protect against hidden slights, while burning confidence and combustive temper establish boundaries with unwavering clarity. Swordpoint honesty and bold confrontation cut through deceit. Champions rally and trailblazer tactics forge collective strength and innovation, and rapid retaliation, plus undaunted endurance, ensure no offense goes unchallenged. In the final, victory roar celebrates shared triumphs and codifies new standards, and Phoenix rebirth transforms ashes into fertile ground for renewed trust and possibility. To engage with a ram is to stand beside a force of nature that demands authenticity, embraces conflict as a path to growth, and holds fast to principles that define true leadership. Underestimate their fire at your peril, test their resolve, and you will witness the full spectrum of their courage, loyalty, and regenerative spirit. But honor their drive with genuine respect, and you gain an ally whose passion and integrity ignite progress. Their loyalty shields you in stormy times, and their vision guides you toward horizons you might never have dared to explore alone. In the kingdom of the zodiac, the Ram's realm is one of dynamic energy, fearless action, and transformative renewal. Embrace it with respect, and you will join a legacy of courage that changes everything.